of Black Dragon Biker TV. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. We're out in the forest. Uh, Lovely day for a walk in beautiful Georgia. I think it's going to shape up to be quite a real wonderful, uh, quite a wonderful summer. I think that's next show today is influence outweighs your title. And I thought of this show based on one of my brothers, president of one of my chapters, and he was talking to me the other day about influence, influence versus title grabbers. And there's a lot of people in the motorcycle club. You know, when you come to the motorcycle club as a prospect, and I always tell prospects, enjoy your time. Enjoy your time in the MC as a prospect. It's one of the purest times you're ever going to have in your entire life. As a prospect, for prospects, a lot of it is pretty much all about riding and all about the pure joy of working to deserve the brotherhood. It's not until you get into it later and you start wanting to advance that you start getting into the biker club politics, biker set politics. And when you start spending more time pounding your chest and running for office, and you start spending more time in backdoor chats talking negatively about your brothers than you spend riding, all of a sudden you begin to see that dark part of MC world, the part that makes so many people give up motorcycle clubbing, the part that makes so many people just sick of it, and makes so many people become independents once again. It's that very dark section of MCing where a lot of people start to get turned. They turn from the we to the my. They turn from the us to the I, and they start getting more into their own agendas than the agenda of what's right for the mighty motorcycle club nation. And they start that patch chasing, not the back patch chasing. You chase a back patch when you're a prospect. When you start chasing that front patch, that one that says road captain, secretary, treasurer, sergeant at arms, vice president, president, regional president, regional sergeant at arms, regional vice president, enforcer, state boss, drifter, national president, national vice. When you start chasing those patches, those front patches, those I love me patches, those look at me, who I am patches, that you start to change. You start to see the inside of what you do move from I'm all about biking to sometimes for some of you guys, I'm all about me. Me, mine, mine. It's when you see the greatest parts of you begin to change. And when we see that in you, we see a change. And it's when a lot of you start doing dirty stuff. Dirty stuff is those backdoor meetings you have when your brothers aren't in the room, when you're talking on the phone, when you're accusing people of things when you're calling people thieves and liars and all kinds of things you guys do. And you do this underhanded BS to get that title. Now you 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 held enough underhanded backdoor meetings downing your president. I always think of the movie Mutiny on a Bounty. And you got to see that movie for all it's worth. It was a great movie, and it's a story about how these sailors basically turned on the captain. The captain was crazy as hell, and all his little quirks and things. Finally, the whole crew turned on him and took over the ship. And when they this was a Navy ship. I hope I got the name of the title right. And then finally, when they finally turned on him and the executive officer took over the ship, and they brought the captain back, and they went to the court-martial inquiry, and basically roasted the captain for being all the negative things he was. But at the end of the show, the admiral's talking to the second in command, who wound up taking over the ship. And the second command feels so great because he was vindicated at trial, and he was found not to be particularly wrong. They did the right thing, except for when the admiral talked to him, he told him what a lousy piece of garbage he actually was. He showed him how you never really stood for that captain. You never really protected him. You never really went all out to ensure that he would be successful. Instead, what you decided to do was take his quirks and take his negativity and turn it against him using the crew. What you did was you destroyed a great man's career because you wanted his power. And I see a lot of you guys, you do that. And once you got that patch that you worked so hard, that you destroyed so many people to get, that you tried to destroy the career of the president to get that patch. Once you do that, and you get to find out how amazingly and uniquely unqualified you are to have it, that's when we find out that you really sucked, that you didn't know what you were doing, that you thought it was easy, that you thought what you were doing, what he was doing, anyone could do. Morning, folks. You thought what you were doing, anyone could do. You thought that that for some kind of reason, because he made it look easy, you thought it was easy. And here you are, so uniquely unqualified to lead, so sorry. And you find out that this guy you tried to bury, this guy you tried to drown, that this guy has influence because he's been doing this for real. His influence outweighs your title. The fact that people in the club still call him, the fact that people in the club still need him, the fact that people all over the set that he operates on still have great respect for his name. The fact that you don't have to have a title to lead a club. All you have to have is credibility in your field, credibility when you speak, credibility and experience, and things that you say actually change people's lives for the better. You don't have to have Sergeant at Arms stamped on your chest to be thought of as the most influential Sergeant at Arms the motorcycle club has ever seen. You don't have to have some sort of title emblazing from upon you that people bow down and kiss. Your title, bro, is the respect in which the brothers use when they whisper your name around the campfire. That's your title. Your title is the fact that the brothers have to call you if they don't call you, it don't get done. You can lead from anywhere. You can lead the pack from behind the pack. You're riding as the last man in the pack, and you see a truck coming up on you too fast, and you drop back and signal to that guy, hey, man, you're not paying attention. My pack's up here. And the whole pack, they don't even know what you're doing. They don't even know that you saved their lives. Everything that you do does not have to be broadcast on national television, bro. Everything you do, you don't have to have somebody stop by and say, hey, great job. What you do that's great will be signified by how the brothers need you, how they reach out to you, how they follow you, how they follow your advice, the things that you say and the things that you do, the things that make you uniquely qualified to speak to them and change their lives, change their hearts, change the direction in which they were going from bad to good. When you stop by and say, hey, prospect, if you do this, this, and this, you're going to have a bad ride in the summer. Do this, this, and this. This makes your ride easier. That prospect now knows you're a leader. When your influence outweighs their title, when your influence outweighs their titles, they hate you. They do anything they can to tear you down. They weren't able to tear you down by taking your title. They weren't able to tear you down by lying on your name. They weren't able to tear you down by sullying you, by disassociating, by taking you off of all the boards of communication, by refusing to let people speak your name, or even by refusing you to let you wear your patch. That didn't work. Still, the bros call you when they need you. Still, the councils call you to help them out. Still, other MCs call you for your knowledge. Still, other folks give you a holler to find out what's the best thing to do. Your influence, your Rolodex. They say I date myself when I say the word Rolodex. That's not a term that's used anymore. I'm so happy I got up that hill. I'm so happy I just got up that hill. Not breathing as hard as I normally do. We're getting skinny out here. But anyway, when your Rolodex is working, when the big boys of the big clubs call you and say, hey, man, how do we do this, that, or the other? Can you talk to my fellas? Can you help train my people? It's when your influence is as big as any title. Some of the most influential people in the world didn't have titles. The guy who started the Mormons, he didn't have some title. He wasn't Secretary of State. The religious leader Martin Luther, he didn't have no title. The religious leader Martin Luther King Jr., he didn't have no title. Gandhi, he didn't have no title. Jesus Christ, well, he was the King of Kings, but he didn't have some kind of title. Some of the people that have led the most people, they didn't have no titles. Some of the biggest leaders in your motorcycle club, they ain't got no titles either. What they got influence, baby. They got influence. Funny thing, you guys might realize, some of y'all know my story. It took me 5 years to gain acceptance into my motorcycle club. I prospected for 5 years. If you asked any of those folks, would Black Dragon have been the national president for damn near 10 years? They would have said, who? Black Dragon? That guy? We'll never vote for him. Folks said, You will never be Black Sabbath. You will never be Black Sabbath. Yet I wear the 20-year membership pin right here on around my neck, given to me by the father of the mighty Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation. The leadership pendant. Only a few people in our club wear this. Only a few. And every one of those people that refused to vote for me, that refused to let me in the club, every damn one of them is gone. They ain't got no 20-year membership pendant. They ain't got no leadership pendant. All the hell raisers, the ones that would tell you what you ain't gonna be, ain't here. So no matter how tough they get on you, you can't never believe that bullshit. Forgive me for cursing. You have to understand that nobody guides your direction but you. They said no, no, no. Every motorcycle club in San Diego at that time offered me membership. But my mind was set here. My mind was right here. This motorcycle club was on my mind. And once my mind was set, not one of you sons of bitches was going to stop me from getting to my goal. I was going to get while the getting was gettable. I was going to get it. You said, okay, well, I got to be able to ride. I got to be able to do this. I got to be able to do that. I did all that. And you still said no. And there are many people that would have said, man, y'all go to hell. I'm fixing to go join the World Aces over there. That's a good club. Those are good brothers. They love me. They treat me with respect. But I wanted this patch. I made up my mind that it was attainable. And through doing the right things, not heroic things, Black Dragon was no hero. I was actually a pretty lousy prospect, to be honest. That's why I wrote the Prospects Bible. One time, this one channel, Sucker Free MC, they wrote a thing, how can a guy who failed at prospecting write a book to tell you anything about how to prospect? And everybody was, oh yeah, man, bro, I'll tell you quick as hell. I was a lousy prospect. I can tell you what don't work. You read the Prospects Bible, which is now #1 reading for over 1,000 motorcycle clubs all over the world. In there, I'm not necessarily telling you the formula for what it takes to be great, but I can absolutely tell you how not to be substandard, like I was, how not to be a lousy prospect, like I was, how not to come to the club with the poor attitude and not try to do the right things. I can tell you that. It's very easy to tell you what don't work, especially by a guy who did it and it didn't work. I remember a guy that used to work for me in San Diego. His name was Gary Kulinek. He is a comedian. And back then, 25 years ago, I owned these traffic schools in San Diego, California. One of them was called I Can't Drive 55 Comedy Traffic School. And I would hire comedians like Gary to run our traffic schools. Traffic safety school, the way it worked is if you got a ticket, if you went to a traffic school in California, initially you didn't have to pay the ticket and the points didn't go on your record. Then eventually they got it to where you had to pay the ticket, but the points wouldn't go on your record and your insurance wouldn't go up. So, our classes were always full, 8-hour-long class. It was dull and boring as hell. But then the comedy traffic school broke out, where we would hire comedians and they would teach traffic school and tell jokes the whole time. So I was a comedy school traffic instructor, and I had jokes and I had stories, and people would come to our traffic school. Me and a guy named Joe Pogash owned that school. So we had like 5 or 7 schools, something like that. And hell, we got written up in a lot of the like the Encinitas newspaper, Encinitas, California, wrote a story on me, local instructor teaching comedy school. It was cool. And I hired this guy by the name of Gary. And Gary wanted to be a passionate speaker, a guy who taught people. He wanted to be a kind of like what I am now. He wanted to be a what are those guys called? One of those speakers that like Tony Robbins. He wanted to be like a Tony Robbins, a speaker who impassions you to live great and make money and be all you can be. So I look at Gary, and in a very lousy, condescending manner, I was like, dude, you work for me. And I ain't got no Lamborghini and all that, and you damn sure ain't got one. So how the hell are you, who works for me, gonna tell somebody else how to be rich? You ain't even rich. And Gary looked at me and opened my eyes that day. He said, if in order to hear something that's valuable in your life, if you can't hear that because you're judging what you think I have, then a lot of life is going to pass you straight by. If a bum on the street told you some information that could save your life, hey man, there's a fire around the corner, don't go that way. And you looked at this guy and evaluated him on how he looked and not on the content of the data he was trying to get over to you. And you judged him simply by what you thought he didn't have, rather than the value of what he could bring to saving your life. You'd be dead that day. That's when I started looking at people differently. I started to evaluate differently, not on what I thought I was seeing, not on what I thought I was interpreting, but rather on the importance of the value of what they were saying, especially if what they were saying was true. It deserves more investigation. That person has influence based on the quality of their knowledge, not on the fact that it was a bank executive telling me, a CEO, hey, he's got a nice suit on. If he says there's fire over there, there's fire. Because a lot of nice suit ass people have screwed things up. Look at Bernie Madoff, for example. A wonderful nice suit title having guy that would have taken your entire life savings if you didn't listen, if you had listened to him and you didn't investigate. He would have had your entire life savings and everything you ever worked for just because he looked nice. Influence is not about how you look and what kind of title you carry on your chest. Influence is about how you change people's lives. Influence is about the value of the experiences and the information you convey and whatever it is you're talking about. From motorcycle clubs to airplanes to aviation mechanics and electronics to stock exchange, whatever, first aid, how to sew a garment. These are the things that give you influence. These are the things that help you help people change their lives. These are the things that make you the grand master that people come to whenever they need whatever it is that they need. My influence outweighs your title every day of the week because what I say is real. What I do is real. When I first started this stuff, the first thing that people looked at was the color of my skin. Had all these outlaw motorcycle club nations. How does an N-word know anything about biking? No N-words are in motorcycle clubs. It's funny. 4 years ago. Go back and look at the videos. Look at the comments. N-words don't own Harleys. Then they started seeing the Harleys in my motorcycle club nation. People's just like, oh my God, those are some nice bikes. Yeah, man, we know. We didn't need your approval to start riding Harleys, bro. Get the F out of here with that BS. We didn't need your approval to talk about motorcycles and motorcycle clubs. We couldn't get in your motorcycle club, so we started our own, but they all operate the damn exact same. That's why my books are sold to motorcycle clubs all over the world. Doesn't matter where you ride, how you ride. If you ride in this culture, you don't even have to get experience from the United States. This stuff is just simple. It makes sense. Don't screw your bro's wife. Don't lie to the clubs. Take care of a brother before you take care of yourself. Normal stuff, everyday stuff, every organization uses. When I first started this, I had people calling me everything from Iron Order. Why is a guy that's not in a 1%er club talking about club business? Talk about no damn club business. We talk about how people should treat people. Simple. Now, those same cats come up to me. Man, I see all your shows. I watch everything you do, bro. Wow. Really? Yeah. Your influence based on the things you talk about. Does it sound real? Is it authentic? Can I bite on the coin? Yeah, they used to bite on gold coins to see if they were real. They had a certain taste or a certain softness. You could crush them with your teeth a little bit. That's how they knew the thing was real. Some folks could bite on it and tell just exactly how real they were, what purity the gold was, and stuff like that. So when you bite into my gold, is my gold real? Do I have fool's gold? Or it's some gold you could talk about? My mom used to say, the funny thing about the truth is it has a purity. It has a ring of familiarity. You know it's true because it rings true. It sounds true. There's a ring of familiarity to it that lets you know when you hear it, it's true. It sounds familiar. That's what influence is about. When people hear your influential tone, it sounds familiar. It sounds like something they've heard before. It rings true. It rings like something they've heard before. That's the strength of it. So your influence can outweigh anybody's title, no matter what they have on their chest. We used to say, you can't judge a book by its cover. You can have an Encyclopedia Britannica 3 cover and a Bugs Bunny inside. Doesn't matter the title on your chest. Doesn't matter the swagger with which you walk. We see it all the time. These guys that come from the tough clubs, always in your face, talking about what they're going to do to you, swaggering all hard, got their bros behind them, living off of the reputations of people that went before them. But the first time one of those cats has to face some real adversity, got to stand for that was talking. Crazy as hell. Oh, looks like my show was interrupted. Somebody called me. I'm back. A lot of times we see those people looking crazy as hell. Just looking crazy as hell. Their own club throws them out. They didn't meet the influence level. They didn't stand up to all the hype, all the BS. We see that in titles all the time. Somebody does everything he can do to get that title. Bitches, moans, complains, accuses other people of stuff, runs the most incredibly politically correct campaign, pointing out the bad stuff of the last president, pointing out all the errors as though he could do better, and he gets his ass in that seat. 7 months later, we got to get rid of him. He got to go. He don't know what he's doing. Why the hell did I ever believe that guy? Now that he's got his rank and his title, we don't even see him in the meetings no more. So I told you in videos before, stop voting on people that you like. I think I like, I want, I feel. I think I like, I want, I feel. Stop doing that. Stop voting on your buddies. Ask somebody, what is your experience? What skills do you have to do this job? Make your bros campaign. Make them earn your vote. Make your bros prove their worth before they're sitting at a meeting on a coalition embarrassing the hell out of you because they wouldn't know MC protocol if it bit them in the ass. Stop all this popularism. It's silly. It's absolutely silly. It makes your motorcycle club look silly. It makes you look silly. And it puts the lives of your bros in danger. This thing is very, very fun if you know what you're doing. If you don't, you could be looking at the negative aspect of this. Real quick, fast, and in a hurry. And that's when it pays to have somebody with some common sense. Even new clubs. New club, nobody expects you guys to have experience, new club. How can you have experience and your club is 4 years old? How can you? But we expect you to have some common sense. We expect you to be able to figure some stuff out. You know, we expect you to be able to understand, get a lesson, and make a change. We don't expect you to be doing the same dumb stuff that you did before. We expect you to be able to make a call, judgment call. We expect you to use good judgment. These are normal things that grown men are expected to be able to do. And when you can't do those things, that's when you run into the trouble. So when you realized you voted for the most popular guy that ever existed and threw that big title on him, but his circle of influence is balderdash, wow, you got an issue. Voila, issue born. Stop moving on what you like and start moving on what makes common sense. Start moving on that. Start moving on common sense. And your motorcycle club nation will be great. You don't have to focus on getting a damn title. Focus on your sphere of influence. Focus on making your bros understand who you are, what you're about. Focus on adding some content to the equation. Focus on adding some character. Focus on adding some benefits. Focus on we, the MC. Focus on your brothers, on your brotherhood, on the sisters of the sisterhood. Focus on the allied clubs, friends of the club. Focus on the prospects and the hangarounds. Focus on the people that just want to touch and feel you and be around you. People that don't even have motorcycles. I don't have a motorcycle, but if I could just hang around you guys, and man, I tell you what, I would take out the trash. I would drive the chase trucks and the chase vehicles. You know, if I could just hang around, I'll never ride a motorcycle. I just want to be part of y'all. Those people have value, bro. Don't discount those damn people. Add them to your equation. Make them part of who and what you are. Find a spot for them. Create a position. Okay, you'll be the support chief. Your job is to handle everybody that supports the nation. Find something for them to do. Add a circle of influence that's so strong, it makes the MC like a big old wall, man. Like the Great Wall of China. Your influence. It's way better than your title. Even in your motorcycle club, you can have a big old name that everybody fears. You can be just as powerful with a little old name that everybody respects. Respect can easily equate to love. And people that love you, they'll die for you. And that's the name of that tune. Well, I've droned on for quite some time. It's nice to have all of you all watching. I haven't made one of these videos in a while. Somebody, one of my dear viewers, told me this morning, you know, Black Dragon, I used to like it when you walked and talked. Used to like it when you made those videos because they seemed real. You didn't need to cut over the screen too and have all of your, hey y'all! You didn't have to cut over the screen too and have all the studio and all that stuff. We just like to hear you talk. So I thought I'd make one of those today. And I'll be darned if I ain't had more people on this than I've had in a while. So maybe we'll make some more of these. In any event, that's my 2 cents. We have Black Dragon Biker TV on the news section, Monday through Friday at 7-ish, a lot of times closer to 8-ish, where we talk about biker news. Our online news magazine is bikerliberty.com. You can get us also on our podcast, The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos. We have a Discord server. The instructions on how to get to the Discord server are in the description section below. Please join our Discord server and come hang out with us in our various chat rooms designed to make the biker and motorcycle club experience more palatable for you. Check us out also on our Instagram channel. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you could like and share the Instagram channel, we'd appreciate that. We're on Facebook, Black Dragon Biker TV. We're on YouTube, Black Dragon Biker TV, Instagram and Instagram TV. I would love it if you would share this platform, if you would like it, subscribe to it, and hit the follow button. Those things would be great. We also have our bike night in Macon, Georgia. We have a motorcycle clubhouse in Macon, Georgia. Our bike night is Thursdays there. We have a clubhouse in Houston and San Bernardino, Inland Empire. Soon we will have those bike nights up there. Also, we just opened a club in Louisiana. We'll have all our bike nights up so you guys can go hang out with the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation anywhere you are, damn near, in the United States of America. We hope to get like that big very soon. Also, the grand opening of the Dragon's Lair, the motorcycle club house here in Atlanta for the Black Sabbath, is coming up in just a couple short weeks. I will announce that on my daily show so you guys will know when the grand opening of the Dragon's Lair is in Atlanta, and we'll be having a weekly bike night there. So you guys please come check us out, hang out with us, and also walk around with us from time to time so that you can get skinny too. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comments section below. I'm Black Dragon. I'd like to say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for following. Thank you for 50,000 plus subscribers. Thank you for hanging in there. You guys know it was tough in the early days when nobody believed in what we were doing. And now we have lots of people, over 100,000 subscribers across all of our platforms. I have you all to thank. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny.